On Monday night, the Orioles take on the first-place Toronto Blue Jays. Baltimore will be without Phil Bradley, whom they traded to the Chicago White Sox for Ron Kittle, who had a few words to say before the game.
It was not a big surprise. You know, both teams are looking for something a little different over there, and I was doing my job for the White Sox well, and you know, it's kind of hard to understand why you get traded when you're doing good. You know, I can see if you're slacking off a little bit, but I was, you know, playing good baseball for him, but I wish him success, and I hope I do a real good job over here.
Kittle did not start for the Orioles, but pinch hit in the game and went 0 for 2 as the Orioles got routed by Toronto, a final of 9-2. In the top of the second inning, George Bell started things off for the Blue Jays as he took a Bob Milacki pitch deep into the left field seats for his 19th home run of the year. RBI number 63 for Bell made it 1-0, and it was also his 200th career home run. Lots of naval officers on hand, but they wouldn't be too happy as the Orioles were routed in this game. In the top of the third inning, after a sac fly, made it 2-0. Kelly Gruber, who had 3 hits and 3 RBIs, made it 3-0 with a double into the left center field gap, his 73rd RBI in the year, scoring Mookie Wilson, and the Blue Jays led it 3-0 in the top of the third inning. That would knock Bob Milacki out of the game as he lasted only 2 1/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. Moving to the top of the fourth inning, Brian Holton didn't fare much better as Pat Borders took him deep to left field. His 12th home run of the year was a 2-run shot, scoring John Olerud, RBIs number 34 and 35, and the Blue Jays led it 5-0 in the top of the fourth inning. Todd Stottlemyre went 6 innings to snap a personal 4-game losing streak. Here he gets 1 of 2 strikeouts as he strikes out Sam Horn in the bottom of the fourth inning. Stottlemyre got his first win since the All-Star break and improved his record to 10-11. In the bottom of the fifth inning, the Orioles got their first run of the game as Mike Devereaux hit a ground ball under the glove of Kelly Gruber and past Tony Fernandez. Somehow that was ruled an error on Gruber at third base. That allowed Billy Ripken to score to make it 6-1 Toronto. With the score 7-1 in the top of the sixth inning, Gruber hit a 2-run homer to left center field. His 22nd home run of the year, RBIs number 74 and 75, scoring Mookie Wilson to make it 9-1. Toronto won it by a final of 9-2 as Dwayne Ward pitched the final 3 innings in relief to record his 8th save on the year. He gets Ron Kittle to ground out to shortstop, ending the game. The winning pitcher, Todd Stottlemyre, is 10-11. Bob Milacki fell to 4-8. The Blue Jays increased their lead over the Baltimore Orioles to 5 games in the American League East and hold on to their 1-game lead against the Boston Red Sox.
Evening surrounding Yankee baseball. We start tonight's action at Yankee Stadium in New York as the Yankees play host to the Detroit Tigers. In the top half of the second inning, Dave LaPointe on the mound tonight for the Yankees strikes out Cecil Fielder. And in the bottom of the second inning, the Yankees will get on the board first when Jesse Barfield comes up and smacks a solo home run to left field. For Barfield, it's home run number 13, and this gives the New York Yankees a 1-0 lead. Then in the bottom of the third inning, Bob Guerin with the long fly ball to left field. Gary Ward drifts back and nonchalantly catches the ball at the top of the fence. But all of this pales in comparison to the George Steinbrenner ruling. Next we'll listen to the crowd as they react after they learn that Steinbrenner and Commissioner Fay Vincent agreed that he resign on or before August 20th as managing general partner of the ball club.
I think the fans must have just heard about George Steinbrenner.
They just got the news. Big standing ovation here at the stadium. It couldn't be anything else. Boy, the fans have been calling for the resignation of Mr. Steinbrenner for a long time here. And now the word has gotten out. And they want everybody on their feet. They're trying to get them all up.
That was Tiger announcers George Kell and Al Kaline reacting to the George Steinbrenner announcement. Just seconds later, Cecil Fielder in the top of the fourth with a 2-run home run to right center field. Number 33 for Fielder. RBIs number 85 and 86 as Trammell scores. He regains the home run lead in the American League as the Tigers take a 2-1 lead. But in the bottom of the fourth inning, Oscar Azocar comes up with a 2-run home run for himself. This one going out to right field. Steve Sachs scores home run number 4 for Azocar, RBIs number 6 and 7, and the Yankees regain the lead at 3-2. Then in the bottom of the fifth inning, Azocar once again with a single into right field. Espinosa scores, RBI number 8. And the Yankee lead is at 4-2. Then still in the bottom of the fifth inning, Jesse Barfield comes up and he will double to right field, bringing home Roberto Kelly and Azocar. RBIs number 42 and 43 for Barfield, and the Yankees go on top by a score of 6-2 as they would get some strong pitching tonight behind the arm of Dave LaPointe, as here in the top of the ninth inning he will get Darnell Coles to ground out 6-3 to end the ball game. as the Yankees win it on a wild night for Yankee baseball by a score of 6-2. LaPointe with the win. His record now 6-7. Searcy takes the loss. His record drops to 1-2 as once again the Yankees win it by a score of 6-2.
Ricky Henderson and the Oakland Athletics as they take on the Seattle Mariners in Oakland on Monday night. Randy Johnson starting for the Mariners. He looked good through the first 4 innings. Here in the bottom of the second inning, he strikes out Dave Henderson. The Mariners would strike first in this game off Scott Sanderson in the top of the third inning. It would be bye-bye Mr. Baseball as Harold Reynolds will connect for a solo home run to right field. It's only his second home run of the season, and it just gets over the glove of a leaping Lance Blankenship. RBI number 38 for Harold Reynolds, and the Mariners led it 1-0 in the top of the third inning. Stay that way until the bottom of the fourth inning when Lance Blankenship would tie the game at 1. He picks up his 5th RBI of the year with a chop single over the head of Edgar Martinez at third base. Dave Henderson scored to tie the game at 1. Henderson was up again in the bottom of the 5th inning, and an inside pitch sent him reeling. He twirls the bat like a baton. In the top of the 6th inning, after the A's had gone ahead 2-1 on a sacrifice fly, Ken Griffey tied the game at 2 for the Mariners. He had a solo home run to right field, his 15th home run of the year. Scott Sanderson can't believe it as the ball just gets over the glove of Lance Blankenship again, and the game was tied at 2 in the top of the 6th inning. There's Blankenship trying for Harold Reynolds' home run in the 3rd inning. Then once again in the 6th inning, he just misses it. If Blankenship were a little taller, the Mariners wouldn't have scored any runs. Moved to the top of the 6th inning with Mike Jackson on in relief. He walks Dave Henderson with the bases loaded. That scored Mike Gallego to put the A's ahead 3-2. Then Terry Steinbeck would come up against Jackson and make it 5-2 Oakland as he picks up his 28th and 29th RBI of the year with a 2-run single to center field, scoring Ricky Henderson and Jose Canseco. And the A's take a 5-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th.
Monday night from San Francisco, Roger Craig and the red-hot San Francisco Giants playing host to the Houston Astros. Bill Fahey ran into some bad luck getting bitten by a dog. We'll pick up the action in the top of the 5th inning with no score. Rafael Ramirez lifts this high foul pop. Will Clark crashes into the first base photographer's booth, making a great catch. We'll now move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Following a Ken Caminiti sacrifice fly, which gave the Astros a 1-0 lead, Ernest Riles hits his pinch hit home run, his 4th of the year, and the score was tied 1-1. That breaks up the shutout for Astros starter Danny Darwin. Now to the top of the 8th inning with runners on 1st and 2nd and nobody out. Bill Doran lifts this shallow fly ball to center field. Brett Butler comes up with a great catch, preserving the 1-1 tie. Now to the top of the 9th inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. Butler would not be as fortunate as he gets a mix-up with right fielder Mike Kingery. This scores Craig Biggio, and the Astros led 2-1. Still in the top of the 9th inning. Matt Williams will let this ground ball go through his glove. This scores Rafael Ramirez and Carl Nichols, and the Astros led 6-1. Dave Smith came on in relief. Here he strikes out Dave Anderson for the final out. Danny Darwin picks up the win. He's 6-1. Steve Bedrosian the loss. He's 5-6.
Mike Fetters kicks back and relaxes in the Angel bullpen as the Angels are in town to take on the Minnesota Twins on Monday night. Here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, Gary Gaetti with a solo home run to left field, number 12 for Gaetti, and the Twins lead it 1-0. Then California Angels announcer Reggie Jackson reacts to the ruling by Fay Vincent on George Steinbrenner.
Sad to see and sad to hear. I think George Steinbrenner does try to do the best he can, sometimes too vocal, but I don't think he has a malicious tone on him. I really don't. I think he gets involved in some things that people feel he shouldn't be involved in, but I think he wants to win so bad that he gets in areas that people are uncomfortable with.
Then in the bottom of the 5th inning, one of the people surrounding the entire investigation with George Steinbrenner is Dave Winfield, and he was in right field tonight. And here in the bottom of the 5th inning on a Randy Bush liner, comes up with a nice throw to second base. Donnie Hill with the nice pick, and he nails him at second for the out. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Gary Gaetti, who's having a big night, comes up and singles into center field. Al Newman scores, RBI number 59 for Gaetti, and the Twins go on top by a score of 2-0. Still in the bottom of the 6th inning, Bert Blyleven will be touched once again. This time Kent Herbeck with a single into center field. Kirby Puckett scores, RBI number 50 for Herbeck, and the Twins lead it by a score of 3-0. Then the top of the 7th inning with Minnesota up 4-0. Donnie Hill comes up with a triple off the right field baggie. Dave Winfield and Johnny Ray both score, RBIs number 21 and 22. And the Minnesota lead is cut to 4-2. Still in the top of the 7th inning, Kent Anderson comes up and he will double off the left field wall. That brings home Hill, RBI number 3 for Anderson, and the Minnesota lead is cut to 4-3. But in the bottom of the 7th with the Twins up 5-3, Gary Gaetti will double to the right field gap, bringing home Liriano and Puckett, RBIs number 59 and 60, to give Minnesota a 7-3 lead. They win it by that score as Kevin Tapani wins his 11th against 5 losses. Blyleven with the loss, his record drops to 8-7, and Terry Leach picks up his 2nd save of the season.